Welcome to the Seller Managed Path to Success. I do appreciate you taking the time to join me today. My name is Cesar Fuentes. I am part of the customer success onboarding team. My main role is to introduce clients to the Maxold system and process. We also have our seller managed support department where they will be focusing on the auction execution, cataloging, auction dates, and any troubleshooting that you may need. All right, so let's see here. So quickly, the basics. There is no reserves. You are responsible for the setup, cataloging, photography, and supervising the pickup. You are in full control of the project and timeline. So just to go over the process here, we like to break it down in 5 steps. This is just a quick guideline. We will cover a little bit of every single step. So we have the lot set up, creating the catalog, reviewing the catalog and setting dates, and then sitting back, enjoying the live auction, and then having your pickup. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to send them through the chat or the question and answer section. All right, so first, I like to dive in with the Maxold mindset. When you're creating your lots, you want to try and think about the groupings that you're going to be aiming for them to be anywhere from $100 in today's retail value. Or if you're looking at your grouping and you're thinking, okay, so if I went to the flea market, is this something I would pay $35 for minimum? If the answer is yes, then perfect. You have a great lot. If not, then I would recommend adding a little bit more, few more items to it. The main thing is that you're trying to increase the interest and competition for each lot. That way you can generate a greater value. Really, it's all about the competition and interest. So you're probably thinking, well, what's in the lot? Well, I'm glad you asked. So normally we like to have similar items grouped together. So for example, if you have a keyboard, a mouse, and a mouse pad, you're going to go ahead and put those in one lot. Basically, they're going to be the office supply lot. Or if you have, let's say 3, 4 small lamps, you want to just go ahead and have them all together in a lot for lamps. Another example is, jewelry or silverware, plates, dishware, figurines, things like that, decorations. You want to keep them, in the same category when you're creating your lots. And also keep thinking about the Maxold mindset. Once you look at your items, do they, is it something that you would pay $35 minimum at the flea market? If the answer is no, then you want to try and boost that value up. All right, so now to talk about how to create the best lot that you can. First is you want to make sure that you have proper lighting. It's all about the human mind, that we're attracted to, colorful things. You're going to get more interest that way rather than, the photos being blurry. You want to try and get at least 5 photos per lot, depending on how many items you have. If you only have 1 item and you can only get so many photos for it, then we can fully understand. But again, you want to give the bidder a good idea of what the lot consists of. And you always want to make sure that the first photo is the overview photo showing everything that's in the lot. You want to stick with the facts. You want to mention if the keyboard is HyperX mechanical keyboard, and then you give the brand or the model number, and then you give any condition issues, like for mine, I would put worn, needs cleaning, things like that. I'm not gonna be subjective and say that this would look beautiful or it's very nice, nothing like that, because unfortunately that could mean something else to somebody else. So just keep that in mind. The descriptions do take precedence over the photos, since the descriptions and title make your auction discoverable, meaning that if I put in HyperX mechanical keyboard, if anyone goes to Google and types that in or maxold.com, they're most likely gonna reach my auction than if I would have just put keyboard. So the descriptions and titles do make your auction discoverable. For the measurements, we recommend, making sure that you put measurements for furniture, picture frames, really anything that you think would add value for the bidder if they're looking for the measurements. For the items, how many lots per auction? Normally, we recommend anywhere from 40 to 120. I mean, if you have more lots, then, I would double check to make sure that you're not creating too little of lots. And if so, you want to add a little bit more value. But if not, if you just have a lot of items, I would recommend anywhere, maybe 180, maybe even 200. But other than that, you do want to make sure that you keep it condensed, due to each page of Maxwell.com can hold 60 lots. And you will lose interest if it's, like 5-6 pages. So just something to keep in mind. All right, so for the pickup, you are gonna receive the invoice list before the pickup happens. We do recommend pre-grouping the items by the invoice. So for example, you'll see that John Doe bought lot 1, 2, and 3. If you can have those 3 items or 3 lots together, that would be easier for the pickup. The buyers are required to bring their own boxes and packing materials. So you don't need to pre-pack the items since they do need to check them on site. Let's see here. Okay, so we have a question. If you're by yourself at a pickup, how long will it take if we have about 100 lots? You're looking about 3 to 4 hours. So it doesn't take a lot, but it also depends on what category. So if you have 100 lots in category A, meaning that they're all going to be curbside pickup where, they don't have to come inside, then it's going to be even shorter than that. I think it's going to be like 2 hours. But if you have lots in category B and C, it is going to extend it. So you could potentially be looking at anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. It really comes down to the categories. If you have a lot of category C's, the system is going to read it as the category C's are going to be the larger items, and it's going to give you more time during that category. So hopefully that answers your question there. All right, so as I mentioned, all buyers will need to inspect the items before leaving the location. If a buyer is not satisfied with an item, you can authorize the refund, but we would need to know this in your pickup report. So we do ask you to fill out the pickup report within 24 hours of your pickup. This is where you would let us know anything that was left behind, anything that wasn't picked up, anything that was missed, and any refunds that you have pre-approved. Again, you don't have to give any cash on site. You just have to let us know through the pickup report. And then that way, one of our support team members will go ahead and process that report.